You're listening to Jazz 88, and it's time for a traffic update. A major weekend closure is in effect in Richfield and Bloomington, with I-494 closed in both directions between Minnesota 77 and Minnesota 100 for construction. In Maplewood, westbound I-94 is reduced to one lane between Minnesota 120 and South McKnight Road for road maintenance through the end of the month. And a forecast for your day and evening. Patchy smoke is expected, otherwise sunny with a high near 90 this afternoon. And this evening, widespread smoke, otherwise a low around 69.
88.5 KBEM FM Minneapolis, St. Paul, and Jazz88.FM, a listener-supported service of Minneapolis Public Schools. The Jazz Impulse, serving the Twin Cities 7 to 10 p.m. Good vibes only, every Saturday night on Jazz 88.
Well, what do you know? Good evening. It is that time again. It is time for the Jazz Impulse on Jazz88, bringing you the funk right out of the gate tonight. 1972, Les McCann, the Talk to the People record. Les McCann singing the title track. Donald Dean throwing down a nice drum groove. To start off the Jazz Impulse tonight, we're going to keep things funky throughout the first hour of the Jazz Impulse tonight. I got some Prince on the way. We'll be getting into the disco jazz energy with saxophonist Ronnie Laws. Booker T bringing in some early 80s funk and a heavy Afrobeat set in the second half of the hour here on the Jazz Impulse on Jazz88. I'm your host, Danny Sigelman, here on Jazz88. You can find me on Instagram at Paper Sleeves and at the Jazz Impulse, of course, Jazz88. At Jazz88 KBEM. I know there's a giveaway going on right now for Carla Thomas, who's in town tomorrow night at the Parkway. Check out that post on our Instagram and keep the radio up. It's going to get real funky here with Confunction. 1980, a very grooving flute solo on Happy Face here on Jazz88, the Jazz Impulse. Saxophonist Ronnie Laws, his Fever record from 1976. A killer cast showing up for the Blue Note Records release. Shirtless and covered in steam on the record cover. We heard Struggling from Ronnie Laws. That one going out to all y'all struggling to beat the heat tonight. We're turning it up here on the Jazz Impulse on Jazz 88. Booker T, also shirtless on his 1981 record. His super sexy I Want You record from 1981. Booker T bringing the jazz, funk, soul, disco of Electric Lady. Started off the set with California's Confunction, lighting up the airwaves tonight with the Spirit of Love on Jazz 88. We're going to keep filling the dance floor this hour. Some Latin and African funk on the way. Some Prince around the corner here on the Jazz Impulse on Jazz 88.
I'm Captain Nathaniel Roche from Woodbury. As an air defense officer in the Minnesota Army National Guard, my mission is to protect what matters most, leading soldiers and advancing technology to defend against threats from the sky. Today, I'm a system administrator. I use those same leadership, problem-solving, and technical skills to manage complex networks, solve critical challenges, and keep essential systems running smoothly. My leadership was reinforced by the Minnesota Army National Guard.
Go to nationalguard.com/Minnesota to see how you can get started today. Paid for by the Minnesota Army National Guard, aired by the Minnesota Broadcasters Association and this station.
It's the Jazz 88 live music calendar for Saturday, presented by Northrop Remodeling and Roofing. 6 p.m., the Minnesota Salsa Fiesta, Mill City Museum Courtyard, Minneapolis. 7:30, One Time Out, Berlin, Minneapolis. 8 o'clock, Jazz at the Velveteen, Stillwater. And 9:30, the Belfast Cowboys hit at Bunkers, Minneapolis. Find more on the live music calendar at jazz88.fm.
It's the Jazz Impulse on Jazz 88.
Where she go, I'll never know. Her friends bounce to. I guess it's their loss, cause they'll never know what we'll amount to. And would you be my light, be my yellow? PYT walking down Portobello, put a smile on his face at the end of the day. MDMA helped us fly away. Who'd have known you would save my life? Who'd have known you would fly my kite? Could you tell, could you tell? Could you tell? Could you tell where my head was at when you found me? Me and you went to hell and back just to find peace. Man, I thought I had everything, I was lonely. Now you're my everything, I was lonely. Yeah. Late night, you would call my phone just to check if I was blessed, cause you knew I was low. Head gone, rolling off the throne. I remember we were in the park. Late night, made love on the grass. Got my head in the clouds, counting all my stars. In my ear said the world was ours. Went to hell and back just to heal my wounds, cause it gets like that. Wrong side of the moon, no Tutankhamun. You're my Cleopatra, no side thing, don't need a backer. Need a real one, don't need an actor. A last one say, think you want a BAFTA. Come and be my girl. Yeah. Could you tell where my head was at when you found me? Me and you went to hell and back just to find peace. Man, I thought I had everything, I was lonely. Now you're my everything, I was lonely. Yeah. Yeah. way she did at me. She was so bad to me. I had to wait, she did at me. She was so bad to me. Only I know woman's man. So please don't cry, darling. You get to know what her name is. Please, her name is Banco. I know woman's man, Banco. She was so bad to me, Banco. Please don't forget Banco. And don't cry, Banco. Oh, Banco, Banco, oh, Banco, Banco, oh, Banco, Banco. Come on. to know what her name is. Yes, her name is Banco. I know when I smell Banco. She was so good to me, Banco. Please don't forget Banco. And don't cry, Banco.
Listener-driven Jazz88 has you covered for news, sports, traffic, roots, and jazz. Support jazz by becoming a monthly contributor at jazz88.fm.
Night and day with non-stop shower. Unquenchable fire. Oh,
Been loving the new record from Dr. Bionic, the Chiefdom record label. Electric Pollen was released this past spring. We heard the title track from Dr. Bionic on the Jazz Impulse here on Jazz 88. Daptone Records brought us Jamaican vocalist Judah Eskender Tafari. His Bezos versus Musk single from a few years back. Checked in with the Apostles and Banco Woman for that Afrobeat groove, as we promised. Parlor Greens in there did Drip Torch. We heard from UK one-hit wonder Bakar and Helen Back. Prince started off the set, bringing his dirty mind to Jazz 88 and Do It All Night. We know you're doing it all night here with us here at Jazz 88. The Jazz Impulse is the soundtrack to your Saturday, with you every Saturday night, 7 to 10 here on Jazz 88. I'm your host, Danny Sigelman. Find me on Instagram at Paper Sleeves, at The Jazz Impulse, and of course at Jazz 88 KBEM. Got a nice giveaway for Carla Thomas, who's performing at the Parkway on the Jazz 88 Instagram. Keep your fingers and your phone busy on a Saturday night, as we do on the Jazz Impulse. We'll keep the dance floor real busy with some Isaac Hayes. He's bringing us on into a groovathon on the Jazz Impulse on Jazz 88.
Everybody's up on the floor.
bringing you some funky sounds from Louisville, the Night Lighters, Morning, Noon, and the Night Lighters, the band that plays funk and roll, keeping the dance floor and the party moving with Hang Up from the Night Lighters on Jazz 88. Isaac Hayes from 1976 set us off on a groovathon, bringing us to the top of the hour here on the Jazz Impulse on Jazz 88. We'll be with you till 10 o'clock here tonight. Coming up next hour, we'll have a check-in with Phil Nussbaum. We'll get into some weather report, some John Coltrane and Herbie Hancock, Ramsey Lewis coming up next hour as well, here on Jazz 88 and the Jazz Impulse.
The Jazz 88 Business Circle connects businesses of all sizes with our loyal supporters and music enthusiasts. Companies like the Cedar Cultural Center, Sonard Marketing on behalf of Zeitgeist New Music, and Bevera Coaching are already enjoying the benefits. Promote your work while helping keep Jazz 88 strong. Learn more about joining the Business Circle at jazz88.fm.
With journalists located all around the world, the BBC World Service can cover international stories when they happen, wherever they happen. Global news you can trust from the BBC World Service.
Starting each hour, weekdays, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m.
88.5 KBEM FM Minneapolis, St. Paul, and Jazz88.fm, a listener-supported service of Minneapolis Public Schools.
Oh, man, it is a killer Saturday night. I hope you're having a great Saturday night, staying cool, staying with us here at Jazz 88. A quick roads and weather update. In Maplewood, westbound 94 is reduced to one lane between Highway 120 and South McKnight Road for road maintenance. And in Minneapolis, Dunwoody Boulevard is closed in both directions at 394 for bridge construction. This project is happening all weekend. Cooling down from a hot and sunny day today, low around 69 degrees. You're going to see sunny skies tomorrow with a high near 91 for your Sunday fun day. Your host, Danny Sigelman, telling you to stay cool and stay with us right here at Jazz 88.
The Jazz Impulse fills your Saturday night up, right on Jazz 88. The Jazz Impulse fills your Saturday night up right on Jazz 88.
You've been listening to Weather Report on the Jazz Impulse. This is Jazz88. The Mysterious Traveler record came out in 1974, the fourth studio album from Weather Report. Of course, Joseph Zawinul on electric pianos, Wayne Shorter on saxophone, Alphonso Johnson, the bassist, and Skip Haddon on drums. Been working my way through the Weather Report catalog of late, and there's plenty to pick from. We brought you Nubian Sundance tonight on the Jazz Impulse. Saint Germain to start off that set, moving through the second hour of the Jazz Impulse tonight on Jazz 88. I'm your host, Danny Sigelman. You can find me at Paper Sleeves on Instagram, at the Jazz Impulse, as well as at Jazz88 KBEM. Follow along, keep up what's happening here at Jazz 88. We'll have a check-in with Phil Nussbaum. He's talking to cellist Mikey Margit later this hour. Much more music on the way. I think the third hour is going to get a little guitar heavy, so you're going to stick around all night for some serious jazz funk fusion on the Jazz Impulse. The 1968 record Selflessness, featuring My Favorite Things, a posthumous release for John Coltrane. The record, recorded at the Newport Jazz Festival, features Jimmy Garrison on bass, Roy Haynes on drums, McCoy Tyner on piano. They're stretching out for a bit here on Jazz 88 and My Favorite Things. Enjoy this version of John Coltrane and his then quartet.
John Coltrane, McCoy Tyner, Jimmy Garrison, Roy Haynes.
Last winter, Phil Nussbaum reported on the Cedar Commissions, a set of performances by up-and-coming Minnesota artists. One was Mikey Margit, a cellist with interest in traditional Scandinavian folk music, as well as rock and jazz, and an inclination to combine genres. Mikey is sharing a night with Kevin Gamble at the Club Berlin, July 22nd. When Mikey talked with Phil Nussbaum about the upcoming performance, with their group Spectacle Case, the talk turned to the fiddler Mikey has been listening to, Lena Janssen.
I got to meet Liana a couple of years ago at the Cedar, and she is a Swedish fiddler. She has won a bunch of competitions, and she's really, really nice. She does Nordic fiddling. She does traditional Scandinavian fiddling, but then she also writes her own music. So this song really inspired me because it's weaving in influences of the Nordic music that she grew up doing, and then also there's an electric bass in there, and that's kind of what I'm trying to do in Spectacle Case also.
You like the combination of genres. Why is that?
Well, I love folk music is a living tradition, and something I was really interested in when I went to Sweden this summer was seeing how it has grown and changed there. So there's the traditional music played on the fiddle, but then also when I was there, I was seeing people playing saxophone and playing the drum set and all sorts of things. And so yeah, that really inspires me, and I love the mixing of super old music from the 1300s, and then also using instruments that you might hear in a normal rock band today.
With some instrumental playing and composing, comes from seemingly a different place than one's songwriting ability. But what about you?
For me, I feel like if I have a theme, which I often write with a theme, it's both for my instrumental and it's for my singing songs. So what I'm trying to convey right now, I've been working a lot thinking about climate change and our communal reactions to climate change. So when I'm doing an instrumental piece, I'll sometimes introduce it as, you can think about this as you're listening to it, or this is what I was thinking of when I wrote it. And I have a song we could do here that exemplifies that, actually. It's called Louie in the Smoke, and I wrote it when my sibling, who lives in Colorado, was experiencing some forest fires. And this was an instrumental tune that I used that I wrote to express my feelings about being far away from a loved one who is experiencing a climate disaster.
You seem to like the juxtaposition of things that might not ordinarily go together, but you find a connection. Now you're doing a show with Kevin Gamble, who is a jazz-based artist. How did this come about?
Well, I'm really interested in doing shows, kind of multi-genre shows. Part of it is that I'm most interested in a show if it bops around to a lot of different places, and that's kind of what we're going to do.
Just to get an idea of the contrast in styles, or maybe you think the similarity in styles, what are the range of reference points from you, Mikey, and then from Kevin Gamble?
So for my band, my music goes between Nordic-influenced folk music, rock, ambient, jazz, and classical. And then Kevin's, for KG4, is going to go between gospel, jazz, funk, soul, and hip-hop.
How'd you convince a club to host both of you on the same show?
That's a great question. I don't know, but I'm really glad that Berlin is having us. Berlin is a really special venue that I feel like is trying to make spaces for music that you can't necessarily just play in any random bar. So yeah, they have really special and unique performances like this night is going to be.
We are speaking with Mikey Margett about Mikey's music and about Kevin Gamble's music, all part of a July 22nd show at Berlin. Mikey, you have crowdfunding set up for a CD you're working on.
Yeah, so I'm working on a record. It's going to be called Rain in Every House, and it's based on community responses to climate change.
How do people connect with that?
There's a GoFundMe. You can find it on my website, spectaclecase.com, or you can, if you search my name, Mikey Margett, you'll find it through there. It's on my Instagram. But yeah, the GoFundMe is called Rain in Every House.
Mikey Margett with Spectacle Case and the Kevin Gamble Quartet at Berlin and Minneapolis, 7 till 9 p.m. on Wednesday, July 22nd. For information, the URL of Berlin is berlinmpls.com. This program is made possible by the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund. Phil Nussbaum speaking.
The Twin Cities music scene is always in motion, and the Jazz88 live music calendar helps you keep up. Discover who's playing where, from hidden gem venues to the biggest stages in town. Musicians can add their own shows, making it a true hub for the local scene. Presented by Northrop Remodeling and Northrop Roofing, the Jazz88 live music calendar is on air and is waiting for you anytime online at jazz88.fm.
The Dave Dworkin Scholarship Fund, established by Judy and Peter Artstein, supports students enrolled in creative media production, Jazz with Class on KBEM, and MPS Voices. Dave Dworkin was a longtime Twin Cities broadcaster who passed away in 2018. To contribute to the fund, go to jazz88.fm/support and click Dave Dworkin Scholarship Fund.
Another great set of musical experiments from Herbie Hancock, mid-70s, 1973, his Sextent record. The first tune on that record, Rain Dance, on the Jazz Impulse on Jazz 88. We're headed towards the top of the hour and the third hour of the Jazz Impulse, the soundtrack to your Saturday night. I'm your host, Danny Sigelman, and we're moving towards a pretty guitar-heavy third hour of the Jazz Impulse. We're going to hear some Frank Zappa, Grant Green, Jeff Beck. Piano man Ramsey Lewis teamed up with Earth, Wind, and Fire in 1974. The Sun Goddess record has Ramsey tearing it up on the synthesizer. They're bringing the jungle funk to the Jazz Impulse here tonight on Jazz 88.
Jazz Impulse takes you for a ride through your Saturday nights.
Okay, well, strap yourselves in, whether it's the car, the spaceship, or whatever, because we're about to take off on a commercial-free half hour of music.
Live on Jazz88.
My friend was thinking about suicide, so he called 988.
I was really struggling, so I texted 988.
I didn't know where to turn, so I reached out to 988.
The 988 Minnesota Lifeline offers free 24/7 confidential support from trained local staff. If you're in crisis or just need to talk, call or text 988 or chat at 988lifeline.org. Paid for by Mental Health Minnesota. Aired by the Minnesota Broadcasters Association and this station.
If your organization is doing good in our community, Jazz88 wants to help get the word out. We can promote any event, volunteering opportunity, or fundraiser that provides service to the youth, seniors, or the arts. We'll make sure your organization is able to reach the people you need. Just send an email and tell us about your cause at info@jazz88.fm. That is info@jazz88.fm.
On the next Jazz Night in America, an interview with my dear friend, the great saxophonist Gary Bartz.
The 60s was volatile. I was ready to join the Black Panthers or do something like that.
I'm Christian McBride.
Tonight at 10.
Oh, man, it is a killer Saturday night. I hope you're having a great Saturday night. Staying cool, staying with us here at Jazz 88. A quick roads and weather update. In Maplewood, westbound 94 is reduced to one lane between Highway 120 and South McKnight Road for road maintenance. And in Minneapolis, Dunwoody Boulevard is closed in both directions at 394 for bridge construction. This project is happening all weekend. Cooling down from a hot and sunny day today, low around 69 degrees. You're going to see sunny skies tomorrow with a high near 91 for your Sunday fun day. Your host, Danny Sigelman, telling you to stay cool and stay with us right here at Jazz 88.
You are listening to 88.5 KBEM FM Minneapolis, St. Paul, and Jazz88.fm, a listener-supported service of Minneapolis Public Schools.
Starting off the third hour of the Jazz Impulse, living it up with Jack McDuff, the late organ man, released a record in 1984 on the Sugar Hill record label. Same label that had the Sugar Hill Gang, one of the first hip-hop labels, putting out some jazz records in the mid-'80s. Jack and the gang performed the Benny Golson tune, Killer Joe. Nice little scat solo from Jack McDuff here on the Jazz Impulse on Jazz 88. It is the third hour of the Jazz Impulse. We're going to stretch it out. A lot of guitar jams on deck here. Getting into some guitar sounds with Grant Green coming up. We'll check in with Frank Zappa and Steve Vai circa 1982 and the Ship Too Late to Save a Drowning Witch record, one of my favorites. Jeff Beck in 1975, his quintessential Blow by Blow. Jeff enlisted Beatles producer George Martin for Blow by Blow, on keyboards Max Middleton, Richard Bailey, the drummer and percussionist, and bassist Phil Chen. They're performing Diamond Dust. It's Jeff Beck on the Jazz Impulse on Jazz 88. Enjoy this set.
You are listening to the Jazz Impulse with Danny Sigelman on Jazz 88.
There's a sister riding too late. Say the drowning witch. She was swimming along, trying to keep a date with a merchant marine. I told her he was really rich, but it doesn't matter no more. She's on the ocean floor, and the water's all green down there, and it's not very clean down there. And water snakes and rusty wrecks is all that she can see. And the light goes dim, and she's trying to swim. Will she make it? Why, we sure hope so. Not even a witch ought to be caught on the bottom of America's spew-infested waterways. Hey, hey, she could get radiation all over her. She could mutate insanely. She could mutate insanely. That's right. You know, she could go on the freeway and grow up to be 15 feet tall and scary looking. And then cars could crash all over the place as a result of people with white shirts on. Looking up to see her face. Sardines in her eyebrows. Lobsters up and down her forehead. All of them horribly large from radiation. And smelling very bad and dangerous. Maybe a submarine could save her and bring her home to the Navy for some kind of ritual sacrifice.
Looking to reach an audience that's both loyal and community-minded? The Jazz88 Business Circle is the place to be. Members like TCE Strategy, the Supply Jane and FIFO book series, and the Jasmine Orchestra are all sharing their stories with listeners every day. Support Jazz88 and expand your brand's reach. Find out how to join at jazz88.fm.
Minnesota continues to have a need for foster families, with more than 9,000 children and teens experiencing out-of-home care last year. Older youth are especially in need of stable, supportive homes. Becoming a foster parent can seem overwhelming. However, information is available to guide prospective foster parents through the licensing process. Contact Foster Adopt Minnesota, 612-861-7115, or visit dcyf.mn.gov.
An extra guitar-heavy third hour of the Jazz Impulse on Jazz 88. And Frank Zappa was joined by a very young Steve Vai in 1982. The record Ship Too Late to Save a Drowning Witch. A lot of people know the tune Valley Girl from that record, probably Frank's most famous tune. We heard somewhat the title track Drowning Witch from that era of Frank Zappa. Jeff Beck in 1975 did Diamond Dust. I promised you a very guitar-heavy third hour on the Jazz Impulse. We're going to get into some Grant Green and his Idle Moments record in a moment here. Some Bobby Humphrey. We're bringing us some flute jazz and Bob James to wrap up the Jazz Impulse coming up here tonight on Jazz 88. I've been your host, Danny Sigelman. Always have a great time with you every Saturday, 7 to 10 on Jazz 88. You can find me on Instagram at Paper Sleeves. We also have one for the show at the Jazz Impulse, of course, at Jazz 88. KBEM is where you can keep up with everything that's happening here at Jazz 88 on Instagram. Turning things out into a nice, subtle soul groove. Grant Green, one of my favorite guitarists from 1965. He's joined by Joe Henderson on saxophone, Bobby Hutcherson on vibraphone, Bob Cranshaw on bass, and Al Harewood, the drummer. Pianist Duke Pearson. They're performing his song, Grant Green, bringing you Nomad on the Jazz Impulse. Have a great night.
The Jazz Impulse brings you the here and now, Saturday nights, 7 to 10 p.m. on Jazz 88.